Detective Sarah Cooper wiped sweat from her forehead as she stepped into the ancient ruins. The Iraqi sun was merciless, beating down on the archaeological dig site, where Dr. James Wilson lay dead among broken pottery shards. "Found like this morning, ma'am," said Ali, the local security guard. Dr. Wilson was working late last night on a new discovery. Sarah examined the body. A heavy stone tablet lay nearby, blood on its edge. At first glance, it looked like the professor had fallen and hit his head. But something felt wrong. "Who else was here last night?" she asked, noting 3 sets of fresh footprints in the dust. "Just Dr. Wilson, Dr. Martinez, the assistant director, and Miss Chen, the graduate student." They were excited about translating new cuneiform tablets. Sarah walked the perimeter, her trained eyes catching details. A broken teacup, scattered papers with strange symbols, and there, partially hidden behind a fallen column, a modern cell phone with its screen cracked. She picked it up carefully with gloved hands. The last text message was still visible. "Meet me at midnight. I know what you did." Dr. Martinez appeared, looking distraught. "This is terrible. James was brilliant. Who would want to hurt him?" "That's what I'm trying to figure out," Sarah replied, studying the woman's dust-free shoes. "Tell me about the tablets you found yesterday." "Ancient financial records, mostly boring stuff." "Except." Martinez hesitated. James thought he'd found something else. He was very excited, but wouldn't tell anyone what it was. Sarah interviewed Miss Chen next. The young student was nervous, constantly adjusting her glasses. "I left around 10 p.m. Dr. Wilson was still working. He said he'd made an amazing discovery, something about a hidden temple with untold treasures." Later that day, Sarah called both suspects back to the scene. The sun was setting, painting the ruins blood red. "I know what happened," she announced. "Dr. Wilson discovered something valuable, something worth killing for. But he didn't trust either of you completely. That's why he sent that text message to test who would show up." She turned to Dr. Martinez. "You came, hoping to silence him before he exposed your secret. For years, you've been selling artifacts on the black market. Dr. Wilson found proof in those financial records." "That's ridiculous," Martinez protested. "You can't prove anything." "Actually, I can. You were careful about the footprints, changing your shoes. But you forgot about the security cameras on the museum building next door. They caught you returning at midnight. And this morning, your fingerprints were found on the stone tablet used to kill him." Martinez's face crumbled. He was going to ruin everything. 20 years of work, my reputation. I couldn't let him expose me. As the police led Martinez away, Miss Chen asked, "How did you know it wasn't me?" Sarah smiled. "Simple. The text message was sent in perfect English. But you always write in short formers instead of you. I checked your phone. Plus, your dust-covered shoes proved you hadn't returned after leaving at 10. That night, Sarah watched the moon rise over the ancient ruins. Another case solved, but at what cost? Somewhere in these ruins, priceless artifacts were still missing, waiting to be discovered. And Dr. Wilson's real archaeological discovery remained a mystery, lost forever in the sands of Mesopotamia. The desert wind whispered through the columns, carrying secrets thousands of years old. Sarah shivered, despite the warmth. In this cradle of civilization, human nature hadn't changed much. Greed, betrayal, and murder were as old as these stones. She took one last look at the crime scene. Tomorrow, the archaeological team would resume their work, trying to uncover history's mysteries. But tonight, a modern mystery had been solved in this ancient land.